Most people are using AI like it's a psychic coworker. They type something vague, hit enter, and expect the model to just know what they meant. Then they blame the AI when it gives them generic mush. But the people getting real leverage out of AI, they're not better at it, they know how to steer it. So I'm going to give you a simple structure you could use in almost any prompt, and it'll show you why constraints, not freedom, unlock the real power of AI. I'm Christopher Hartline. This channel is about systems, how to get signal over noise, and how to build workflows that actually hold up in real life. Previously, we broke down the decision-making frameworks. This time, we're fixing how you use AI. Now let's fix the biggest mistake people make. Here's what most people do. They give the model a vague request and expect magic. But a model isn't reading your mind. It's responding to what you gave it. And fuzzy input creates fuzzy output, always. So the secret isn't find the perfect tool or learn the magic prompt. The secret is to narrow the problem so the model has less room to wander. And that starts with a mental model you can actually remember. Think of AI like a prediction engine for text. That's exactly what it is. The more your prompt resembles a cloudy vibe, the more the model has to guess what you meant. But when you give it structure, role, context, and a specific output, the model doesn't become smarter, it becomes more constrained. And here's the counterintuitive part. Constraints are what actually turn pretty good into actually useful. Most people think more freedom equals better output. Give the AI room to be creative and let it surprise you, but that's backwards. The tighter your boundaries, the better your output. And I can prove it right now. Watch what happens when I ask for creative help with no constraints. I'll prompt, write me a creative marketing email. And what comes back? Generic enthusiasm, vague benefits. It could be selling anything to anyone. But now I add constraints, and I prompt, write a 100-word email to engineering managers who hate marketing emails. The tone is skeptical and direct. The goal is to get them to try a 5-minute demo. No exclamation points. Suddenly the output has teeth. It sounds like a real human wrote it for a real audience. That's the paradox. The more you constrain the model, the more creative the output becomes. Because creativity without boundaries is just noise. So here's the structure that builds those boundaries. I use a framework I call RCO. R is role. You tell the model what it is, who it's supposed to be acting as, a recruiter, a lawyer, a senior editor, a product strategist, whatever expertise you want to borrow. Then C is context. What does it need to know? Audience, constraints, priorities, tone, what you've tried, what good looks like, and any source material it should work from. Finally, O is output. You tell it exactly what you want back. Format, length, number of options, and a definition of success. If you do nothing else, do this, because RCO turns prompting into a repeatable process, and I'll prove it in 90 seconds. Let's start with what most people type. Fix my resume, and then the model does the only thing it can do. It guesses what you mean by fix, guesses what kind of role you want, it guesses what matters, and it guesses what format you like. Generic input, generic output. Now watch what happens when we add RCO. R, the role. You are a senior resume editor and hiring manager for product roles. You review resumes that consistently convert into interviews. C, the context. I'm applying for a senior product manager role at a fintech company. My background is in SaaS operations. Here's my current resume, and here's the job description. Priority is measurable impact, clear scope, and leadership. And finally, O, the output. Give me, number 1, 10 specific improvements. Number 2, a rewritten summary. And number 3, a revised bullet set for my last 2 roles. Use strong action verbs and keep it concise. Notice what changed. We didn't add cleverness, we added constraints. Role tells it what good looks like. Context tells it what to optimize for. And output tells it what shape the answer should be. Now here's the part that people miss. RCO only works if you're specific. If your role is vague, like be helpful, your context is thin, like make it better, and your output is undefined, like give me ideas, you just build a fancy version of fix my resume. Here's a real failure mode I see constantly. Somebody writes, "You are a marketing expert. Help me with my website copy. Give me suggestions." That looks like RCO, but it's not. The role is generic. What kind of marketing expert? The context is missing. What's the site about? Who's the audience? What's broken? The output is a shrug. Suggestions for what? How many? In what format? So here's the test. If you could copy your prompt into a different project and it would still make sense, it's too vague. Good RCO is so specific it only works for this task. And if you want to level up this one more notch, add a rubric. Score each section 1 to 10 for clarity, impact, and alignment with the role. Then revise. That single line forces the model to evaluate before it writes. Now you're not just getting output, you're getting edited output. Now here's the part that people skip. They do one prompt, don't love the answer, and assume the model's bad. AI is not a vending machine, it's closer to a steering system. So I use 3 micro moves, quick loops that make the output better fast. Micro move number 1, ask clarifying questions. You say, before you answer, ask me up to 3 questions that would most improve that answer. Ask them one at a time. This forces the model to identify what's missing instead of hallucinating what it wishes it had. Micro move 2, reframe my question. You say, propose 2 sharper versions of my request. One optimized for speed, one optimized for depth, and ask me which to use. This is a cheat code because you get the model to help you write the prompt you'd wish you'd written. And micro move 3 is critique against my standard. You say, critique your answer against these criteria: clarity, specificity, usefulness, and then revise. That turns the model into its own editor. Ask, reframe, critique. If you practice these 3 loops for just a couple weeks, you stop being an AI tourist. You become an operator. If you take one thing from this, take this. Give it a role, give it a context, and define the output. If you like acronyms, remember RCO. Also, remember, constraints aren't limitations. They're the thing that makes the model useful. Then iterate with ask, reframe, critique until it matches your standard. I'm not going to blurt out another acronym, that would be too much. You figure that one out. I put together a 14-day practice plan and 5 starter prompt templates that you can copy and adapt. There's a free PDF linked in the description. 10 minutes a day, no heroics. If this was useful, hit the like button and subscribe, because this channel is basically a long-term project in building leverage without losing your mind. Now here's what most people get wrong after they learn RCO. They try to do everything in one prompt instead of building a workflow. So the next video breaks down how to chain prompts together, when to split tasks, when to reference previous outputs, and how to build a reusable process instead of starting from scratch every time. That's up next. And drop a comment telling me what you're trying to use AI for. Resume, writing, research, planning, because I read all of them and it shapes what I cover next. See you next time.